Okay, I'm gonna do this again. I'm gonna try to use fewer ums and not take up so much time. We are on page 79 in a long chapter titled Household, where the household gathers together and often gets to watch the news, mostly propaganda, probably. Um, it's somewhat humorous at times with the names. I'm looking at the bottom of page 82. The Appalachian Highlands as the voiceover, or the Angels of the Apocalypse. Oh, Fourth Division are smoking out a pocket of Baptist guerrillas. I just think the idea of Baptist guerrillas, or later on, a sect of Quakers were arrested. And if you don't know, Quakers famously are all about peace. So none of this is probably true. The propaganda machine is working. Um, is a reference on the bottom of page 83 about the resettlement of the children of Ham is continuing on schedule. And if we don't know, the children of Ham is kind of biblical code name for African American, well, for black people. They were Ham was a son of Noah who was cursed and sent out because he saw his father naked. Noah was drunk and naked, and Ham saw his father and told his brothers. His brothers did the right thing by walking backwards into the room and putting a sheet over their father to conceal his nakedness. But Ham did not and was consequently punished. And I think one of the things that throughout this and then the commander showing up, a lot of sexual innuendo. Um, we have I guess I should have said more about the children of Ham. It is interesting when she talks about the television show, the Hulu show. Margaret Atwood says it was difficult because she didn't want to be racist and not hire anyone of color, but she was trying to create a world where they were racist against people of color. And so in the show, which I've seen 6 or 7 episodes, um, the show has a variety of ethnic backgrounds as actors, but in here we should add racism to Gilead's traits. But I was gonna say it seemed like there was a lot of sexual innuendo. Um, was it here, or it might have been in the next chapter, the chapter 15. I was just noticing, there's a song and they keep repeating, "Come, come, come, come." Flowers become the genitalia organs of plants. Other things, a reference to Lily of the Valleys, which comes up in the actual book Song of Solomon in the Bible. So it just kind of seems like there's a lot of buildup and ritual behind the ceremony. The ceremony just sounds super bizarre. Above me, towards the head of my bed, Serena Joy is arranged outspread. Her legs are apart. I lie between them, my head on her stomach, her pubic bone under the base of my skull, her thighs on either side of me. So the commander's going to, um, yeah, there's going to be a couple bad words because they're from the book. I apologize. The commander's going to do his business, but really, when she talks about it, she just talks about it as fucking. What he is fucking is the lower part of my body. I do not say making love because that's not what he's doing. Copulating would be too inaccurate because it would imply two people and only one is involved. Nor does rape cover it. Nothing is going on here that I haven't signed up for. So, um, yeah, it doesn't sound like a lot of fun for anybody involved. And in fact, that chapter ends with this question as Serena Joy excuses Offred rather abruptly when she's done. Offred muses, which of us is it worse for her or me? Um, yeah, that's a good question, and it's not one that I have the answer to. But I'm less sympathetic towards Serena Joy because one of the things that I think this stretch of the book really covers is how women against women crimes kind of helped create this world of the chapter 17. What's the point? Like, she wants to steal something. She's sneaking around. Maybe we're starting to get some defiance from Offred. Maybe she's going to start actually trying to improve her situation or stand up against what's happening. I do not know. She runs into Nick. What's Nick doing in there? He says he's looking for her, and that the commander wants to see her tomorrow night. Dun dun dun. He's not allowed. Okay. In the short night section, um, this is where we struggle with our narrator with a story about what happened to Luke. And it sounds like there's three stories. This is what I believe. And the first one is not great. Luke is dead. And then she goes on to, I also believe this. I also believe that Luke is sitting in a rectangle somewhere, gray cement. So in the first scenario, Luke does not get away and she believes he's dead. In the second scenario, Luke has been captured. And in the third scenario, Luke has escaped and he's swimming across the river, making it to Canada. Maybe the Quakers were helping him. As if, I don't know. Will we ever find out? I do not know yet. I know, but I'm not going to say. The only thing was thinking about is in Christianity, you have the three: you have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and they all three become one. There are these three stories of what happened to Luke, and they're all one story. I don't know. That could be a stretch. I'm capable of making stretches. Okay, birthday. Most likely we remember Janine, or is it of Warren? Yeah, I think it's of Warren that they saw pregnant in the store, kind of flaunting it. Well, she was pregnant, and now she's going to have a baby. And before that baby comes, we have memories back to Handmaid's training. It seems like really kind of a weird line about. Uh, I think about Pearl. No, later on. Aunt Lydia says, all of us here will lick you into shape. Just an odd image of, and it is the ants who are training these handmaids. Just lick you into shape just seems oddly sexual to me. We see how all of these women, but even at the same time, later on when we have the birth, Offred describes Janine as that whiny little bitch. And then the wives are pleasant to the handmaids, but behind their backs, they basically say little whores, all of them. So it just seems like all the women are lined up against each other. In another one of those flashbacks, we have movies. And first it starts with like pornography, then it goes into movies violent against women, trying to show, oh, look at how violent our situation or our society is, and look how this new Gilead is going to help you out. In one of the movies, Offred recognizes her mother. Her mother seems like she was somebody who was trying to create change. In paint, what was been on a bed sheet reads, "Take back the night." And this later on, we're going to have a memory of her mother and Luke and Offred kind of having dinner or something, and she's calling him a chauvinist pig and basically saying, young people don't appreciate what this older generation did for you. Do you know how many women's bodies the tanks had to roll over just to get that far? So it looks like things in the fictitious world were a little bit more violent than. I have to look. I don't remember tanks being brought out trying to stop women from burning bras or asking for equal rights. But it sounds like in In this world, it got a little more violent than it did in real life, creating the change that came about. Okay, they give birth. The wives quickly take the baby and they name it Angela, maybe Little Angel or something like that. And poor Janine, who accomplished what her purpose was, she'll be allowed to nurse the baby for a few months. They believe in mother's milk. After that, she'll be transferred to see if she can do it again with someone else who needs a turn. But she'll never be sent to the colonies. She'll never be declared an unwoman. That's actually a title, unwomen, that we haven't talked about. That is for women. So, in the end, if you do accomplish your task as a handmaid, at least you won't go to the colonies. Okay. One of the lines in the future that stands out is a line that says context is all. And we bring up context is all because this might not seem a strange story. You just need the context, and the commander inviting Offred into his room, asking to play Scrabble, is strange in this context. Of all games to be played, Scrabble could be maybe the most dangerous because you are inviting a woman to play around with letters and make words. And boy, she's good at it too. Some of what was it, larynx and zygote, interesting zygote as an egg. Um, her words and she seems to be very talented at Scrabble. They have this bonding moment, and he asks her for a kiss. She does concede and gives him a kiss, and he says, "No, not like that," as if you meant it. He was so sad. That is a reconstruction too. So this is a society that the commander is supposed to be an important person in, and what are the faults of the society? There was tension earlier with the commander and his wife, where he knocked on the door to come in to start the ceremony, but didn't wait to be invited. She likes to keep him waiting outside. Just minor tension, and there is something wrong here. There's some reason why the commander's inviting Offred in, playing games with her and asking for a kiss. What's wrong with this world? Did they create a world without love? That could be a question. The last night section, I did all that, and I didn't even bring up that Moira escaped from the Red Center in a memory. It's a great little part where Moira doesn't seem like she's going to be one who can be held down, and she takes something out of the toilet and sticks it in the back of Aunt Lydia or Aunt Elizabeth's shoot. I've already forgotten. I just relived that. But the point is, she takes the aunt's clothes and escapes. So Moira might be a foil for Offred. She might be that model of what we want or hope Offred to do. She could be that memory could give us hope that Offred will maybe perhaps do something like that with the commander or Sharina Joy. And you have to wonder about the commander now in this section where she has a memory of a television program. She's 33 years old, and she remembers thinking back on a show that she saw a rerun made years before. I must have been 7 or 8, too young to understand. It was this historical, educational thing, and it was a documentary about one of those wars. Well, it's about World War II, and they were interviewing people, and there was a man, and he worked at a concentration camp. From what they said, the man had been cruel and brutal, and his mistress, and my mother explained mistress to me because she was that kind of honest mother. And the interview was years later, and she ended up saying, the mistress ended up saying, he was not a monster. People say he was a monster, but he was not one. What could she have been thinking? Not much, I guess. So that's what I want to look at, because I think it's really telling that the comparison of the commander to somebody who worked in a concentration camp in Nazi Germany. Maybe he doesn't seem like a monster to his mistress, who saw a different side of him, didn't see his work side, was affectionate to her. It talks about had a yen for truffles, had a little dog he gave rare steak to. So for the mistress, in her view of him, he wasn't a monster, but we all recognize him as one. I guess my question to you is our commander a monster? He's working in this system that is holding people down much in the same way as somebody who worked in a concentration camp. We don't necessarily know what Fred, the commander, does in this world of Gilead, but obviously he's an important person. So is he a monster? Well, he invites Offred in. He asks to play Scrabble with her. He, kind of in a pathetic way, wants her to kiss him when she rings it. Somewhat sympathetic, but at the same time, let's not forget this world that he's working in. Okay. Um, keep reading. I'll start posting some things that would be like this would have been a quiz or something. Don't worry about grades, guys. Don't freak out about that kind of stuff. Just focus on the knowledge. I'm pretty confident we'll be back sooner. I don't believe we're going to be out of school for the rest of the year. So happy graduation. So try not to worry and feel free to engage. Ask some questions. Get your classmates involved. Let's talk about it. So, anyways, have a great day. This is Boring. Bye.